At this time, I'd like to welcome everyone to Andrew J. Brown Academy's 8th grade graduation. At this time, we're going to ask if you would please stand to your feet and welcome our AJB staff, as well as our graduates. At this time, will you put your hands together for our 8th grade graduates as they enter? At this time, I'm going to ask that our graduates would please stand as we welcome Alex Lewis to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. At this time, we're going to have our welcoming remarks by our own principal, James Hill, and Jose Uribe. After which we will hear from our valedictorian, Jasmine Vega.
Good evening, everybody. It's a great night. It's a joyous night. And I feel honored again after 5 years of being able to do this one more time. Before we begin, and I give this opening address, I want to just say to my teaching staff, can you guys stand up? Just stand up. This year has been a year like no other, but these are the real, true heroes. The interventionists that are not here, some of the teachers are not here, and I really want to just thank all of you very much for everything you've done this year and just persevering and being a role model to the students that you serve. It's truly commendable. And there's a theme tonight, so thank you very much. With that, thank you. Yeah, give it up. Absolutely. Graduates, teachers, parents, members of the faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2019, congratulations on your achievement. You know, I'm getting old. It's been about 35 years to this day, matter of fact, as I was looking through my yearbooks that I graduated from Anthony Junior High School back in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I remember a lot of things about that day. I remember I had a serious girlfriend, whom my grandparents said, Myrtle Harry said, no way, she's got to go. And I also remember that my grandfather reminded me I was getting past him in educations of the years that he was in school. He got a 5th grade education, and I had just gotten my junior high diploma, and I was very touched by that and very proud of the fact that it made me want to keep going because he made me realize the importance of education. But of all the things I remember most about that day, 35 years ago, I don't have a clue what the commencement speaker on that evening said. I don't remember anything. So acknowledging that fact alone, if I can make this, this part of the program a little bit memorable, I will at least try to make it short if it's not memorable. The AJB mission is simple. We prepare and inspire all kids with the competence, courage, and confidence to achieve their dreams. I repeat, we do our best, our teachers do our best to prepare and inspire all kids with the competence, courage, and confidence to achieve their dreams. I have to admit, I kind of like that. We were part of that whole strategic mission 5 years ago. But here's where it starts. Here's where it starts. It starts with you guys. It starts with AJB K through 8 kids here that changed the world. Tonight, there are almost 100 kids graduating from AJB Academy. And a survey done online, ask.com if you want to know, said that if you were lucky enough that you would have 10 friends that are true to you in a lifetime, that are true to you. Not the fake, phony ones, the true ones. But if every one of you right here in front of me changed the lives of just 10 people, and each one of those folks changed the lives of another 10, just 10. That means in 5 generations, a little over 100 years, this class of 2019, you'll have changed the lives of 400 million people. 400 million people. That's the population of the United States of America. Go 1 or 2 more generations above and beyond that, you change the entire population of the world, 8 billion. So, hey, I like that. If you think it's hard to change the lives of 10 people, you're wrong. You know why? I know. I've seen it here the last 5 years at Andrew J. Brown Academy. Teachers, I commend you. There's a theme here tonight. I've seen a teacher watch a student, help a student, make a decision to go left instead of right, walking down Jamer Church Road, and avoided a car and nearly got hit just because she ran out and cared. I've seen a student decide not to join a gang because a teacher helped change his mind. I've seen a student change his ways because a father gave the whipping of his life to his son, and forever that boy never did wrong again. I've seen it all. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know, parents, I've also seen this particular class here stage a sit-in about hot fries and hot Cheetos. Recognizing their power to peaceably protest. Teachers remember that too, don't you? There is so much more important in life, though, ladies and gentlemen, and although your premise and what you did was good, I found joy in that. There's a lot more pressing things in the world going on right now about your civil liberties, your freedoms, and the future of our world. Generations were saved by one decision made by one person. The future generations will be judged by decisions that, well, will decide our fate. You'll help decide that. I'm getting old. We're getting old. You're the next generation to come. What will be your legacy? Changing the world can happen anywhere and for anyone who's saying, I can do it. So what starts here can indeed change the world, but the question is, what will the world look like after you change it? If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, their true heart, and not by the size of their promises. Remember, if you don't get the little things right, you'll never get the big things right. Plenty of parents have reminded me of that. Still working on it. Graduates, you cannot change the world alone. You will need some help. And to truly get from the starting point to that destination that you have desired for yourself, it takes friends, it takes the goodwill of others, it takes strong parental support, it takes a village to raise a family. It takes a village to raise you. If you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle with you going through life, especially when something's pulling you downstream and you're trying to paddle upstream. The pain of paddling really hard builds inner strength and builds physical resiliency. Life is filled with pain, folks. That's no lie. Your folks will tell you that. You know, and you will fail. You failed a little bit, and you might fail some more. And it might be a little bit painful. It might be even a little bit discouraging. At times, it will test your very core. But if you want to change the world, don't be afraid of the challenges or even that pain. If you want to change the world sometimes, you have to just slide down that obstacle in front of you head first with reckless abandonment, kind of like you did with them hot Cheetos. Respect everyone. Please, try to respect everyone. We know that life is not fair and that you will fail often, but if you just take some risks, step up at the times when it's toughest, face down bullies, lift up the weak and the needy, and never ever give up, you will do things the next generation and the generations that will follow you will all, including myself, get to live in a better world. What started here will indeed have changed the world. What started here at AJB will indeed change the world for the better. Your teachers, your parents, they all believe this is a very special class. When I come back for closing remarks, I want you to remember this talented 10th. I want you to remember how you can reach out and change 10 people. I'll share one last story in that. But for now, go change the world, Brown Bears, one person at a time, one decision at a time, because our world is your world, and we await your brilliance. Thank you.
Buenas tardes a todos. Hoy es un día muy especial para nuestros alumnos. Queremos agradecerles a todos por haber venido aquí con nosotros a esta clase del 2019. Diciendo esto, ha habido muchas cosas buenas, como dijo el director, cosas positivas, cosas nuevas. Lo que sí podemos decir es que esta clase es muy especial y les agradecemos a todos por estar aquí con nosotros y espero que les guste. Muchas gracias.
At this time, we will have our valedictorian, Jasmine Vega. Want me to put it up for you? Yeah. Are you? Okay. You got this. Okay. It's right here in my hand. You can do it. See right there. You step up there.
I'm too short.
Is that good?
Yeah. Welcome, friends, family.
Talk into the mic.
Okay. Okay.
You want to hold it?
Welcome, friends. Welcome, friends, family, and all teachers that helped us get us where we are today. It is an honor to be standing before you on such an unforgettable night. We are your class of 2019 from AJB Brown Academy. We have made it because we put in the hard work and the effort, and we couldn't have done it without all of you who kept encouraging us to keep up the good work and to persevere. I personally have enjoyed my journey here at AJB, which began in kindergarten, so tonight is a bit overwhelming but joyous at the same time. We've all had this feeling of giving up, but we didn't. Here we are 9 years later, graduating from middle school and moving on to high school. Yes, it is a scary thought, but we did it. I pray that the class of 2019 will walk out of here today feeling proud of all they have accomplished over these last few years, and always remember, it is not about the friends that you make while in school. It is the memories that you create that really count. Leave behind what isn't helpful and bring forward with you the lessons that will be working parts of your greatest invention ever, your life. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Awesome job. Awesome job, Jasmine. Let's give her another hand. It's not very easy to get up here in front of everyone. At this time, we will have our presentation of awards, subject awards, ELL awards, Lifetime Athletic Award, Lifetime Achievement Awards, Most Improved, and Moral Focus.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. So I am giving the Historian Award, and I give the Historian Award not based on grades in the class, but based on inquiry, based on their understanding of the material that we've talked about, and based on a student trying to figure out a way to apply it to their lives currently and to the world that they are currently living in. So this year, my Historian Awards go to two beautiful young ladies. One I've only known a little under a year, but she has blossomed into a real thinker. She is really seeking ways to try and understand how history has impacted the world that she is residing in. She's trying to figure out ways to make it work in her own neighborhood. And the other student, she was always asking me questions. She was asking me questions last year, more just for understanding, but also because she wanted to make sure that she could tell her family and tell her friends about how history has impacted her as a Hispanic American. And so this year, my 2 historian awards go to Mackenzie Lloyd and Yvette Pautel.
Okay, I am here to present Outstanding Scientists. This year, we struggled a little bit with science. We all had to get reacclimated to kind of knowing what science was and how it was utilized. And I had some exceptional students. A lot of you really had a lot of questions. You were really positive about accepting and learning about science, so I really appreciate that. I am proud of what you have become and to be here to see you graduate. But I had 2 students in particular. One would ask me so many questions to make sure that they knew exactly what was going on. They wanted to make sure they had all of the procedures correct, what steps to follow. And then my other student that I'm going to award, she was very helpful and a team player. And they both excelled in science, and I look forward to seeing both of them being in either a science field or a STEM field, if nothing else. And the 2 ladies that I would like to award these outstanding scientists go to Andrea Vasquez and Aja Thomas. You go, girl. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Miss Ames. I'm the English teacher for middle school. The 2 students that I've had the pleasure of having them both these past 2 years. They are 2 very amazing students. The classroom dynamics, you know when they're here. And they're never absent, so it don't matter about them not being here. They are probably the funniest twins you will ever see. And probably also, as everyone in their class says, the meanest ones. I said, I've never seen sisters argue like y'all. But for my amazing journalist awards, I have Janet and Jasmine Vega.
This is my 5th year here at AJB, and it has been outstanding, actually. But this was my actual first year as being the lead teacher in the math program for middle school, and I couldn't ask for a better group to have done this with. They know I'm a mathematician at heart, and the mathematicians that I groomed this year, I love y'all for it. The 2 young ladies I want to give the mathematician award to, they are, I would say, 2 different people, absolutely, but very strong in math. One student, she is definitely going to be an engineer one day. If I can get her to write everything down and show her work, she will be outstanding. My other student, she is very meticulous. She takes her time. She asks the questions. She makes sure she's got it before she turned it in. So I want to put this award to Miss Jada Gardner. Come on. And Miss Andrea Vasquez.
So the next honor is the ELL Award. The ELL Award is awarded to our English as a second language students who show growth in the area of English language development. So our two students tonight, I've had the pleasure of working in serving both of them. One as her middle school dean, I watched her persevere. She does not care who's in the room. She does not care if anybody's laughing at her. She's going to ask her questions. She's getting her education. The next student, I had the pleasure of serving as her 5th grade teacher for ELA in math. When she first came to us, she at first entered the country. She knew no English at all, and you could not tell today at all. So both ladies have not only been committed to their language development, but also their academic achievement. They have overcome so much. And so to witness the growth of both of these students, I have been blessed. It is truly remarkable. So help me in honoring Amy Vieta Santos and Brenda Castillo.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of awarding 2 students athletic achievement awards. And before I allow them to come up, I just want to say I'm going to really, really miss this one in particular. I'm going to miss you both, but this one is like a thorn in my side, but he's also my sidekick. Me and Miss Ames, we share him. We call him our son. Even when I text his mom, you know, I said, this is his other mother. And he's outrageous. He's courageous. Everybody knows when he enters the room. He's not shy by any means, and he's never lost for words. This certificate goes to my cheerleader. He was a captain, and he was the first male cheerleading captain at Andrew J. Brown Academy, the 2018 and 19 season. This award goes to Tito Moss. If we were to give a level up award, he would get the level up award. Stay up here. This other cheerleader, yes, we share him. This other cheerleader, she is, and I said this the other night when we had our banquet, her attitude is phenomenal. I looked at her tonight and I saw her cap and I wasn't shocked because she's an extraordinaire. She also, when she enters the room, she brings it, and she brings it all the way. Makeup, I know Miss Jackson and Mrs. Jackson, they're both makeup artists, but this young lady, she can put a face together like no other student that I know. This award goes to Miss Aja Thomas for being, she has the best attitude, so her award is for being the best cheerleading captain, Aja Thomas. Let's give them another hand, please.
Good evening. I am Mrs. Jackson. To this class, though, I'm Miss Cook. I transitioned with this class from Miss Cook to Miss Jackson. So these are my babies. So I am here to represent to the Certificate for Athletic Achievement Lifetime. There's 3 girls in this room that I've been coaching at Andrew J. Brown for 6 years, and they roll with me. They roll with me the whole time. And we went to the championship 4 times. And they deserve to be acknowledged today, because when I say ball is life, ball is life. And so I would like to say a few words about each one really quickly. My first one I'm going to say, we're going to go to Miss Anaya Muriel, if you could come up here. I had the pleasure of also coaching her older sister, and she takes up after her very well. Come on. And she has grown so much. We can stay up here. The second one, this is the one who taught me the phrase, ball is life. And she has grown so much in her attitude on the court. She's a leader through and throughout. Her grades reflect who she is as a person, and trying not to tear up. She has grown athletically, and I cannot wait to come and see her play next year, Amari Wilburn. And don't cry. And for the last one that rode with me for these last 5 years, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make it. She came to me so rough. And she kept persevering, and she kept pushing through, and she had some help with that. And I know that without a shadow of a doubt, she is going to ball out next year. And I just want to say thank you for being my leader, JJ. Thank you for pushing past all of your obstacles that you had. And I just want to say ball is life, and I love you, JC Griffith. Oh, you guys. These three ladies, again, the award says for 5 years of playing outstanding, consistent basketball. So they've been with me for 5 years, and these are the leaders of the Andrew J. Brown girls basketball team. Bye. Love you.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
Thanks.
Okay. Good evening. We stand here before you to present the Lifetime Achievement Awards. The Lifetime Achievement Honor is awarded to those scholars who have been with Andrew J. Brown Academy since their kindergarten year. To the parents of these scholars, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for entrusting us with your scholars for the duration of the elementary and middle school career. And I just had to say, these students right here, if I wasn't their second grade teacher, they were in the classroom next door to me. So it is just wonderful to see them as they have matured in life. Receiving the Lifetime Achievement Awards is as follows. Janet Vega. Anaya Muriel. Yvette Coutal. Francisco Sanchez. Jasmine Vega. Aja Thomas. Uh-oh, baby. Here, baby. Here, baby. Oh. Kamaya Lane Belton. Come on, baby. Daniela Vasquez. Andrea Vasquez. Brianna Carter.
All right. Okay, so now we're going to move into our Moral Focus Award. In AJB, every month we have a moral focus that we want our students to strive for, to help them be better citizens, especially within the school and once they leave our school. So our first Moral Focus Award is for self-control. This young lady, she is one of the coolest kids you could ever have. We've never seen her upset. She's just sitting chill and nobody does nothing. Oh, you can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Oh, no, I'm too loud. So self-control Moral Focus Award goes to Miss Jaya Parker. Our next Moral Focus category is for perseverance. This person has been through the fire, came out of the fire, kept pushing through the fire, then put the fire out, started the fire again. We are so proud of you as an individual, Mr. Hyro. Got it. All right.
Our next moral focus is for compassion. This young lady is just always caring, just always willing to give and to help out, has an amazing personality, is sweet, never really had problems with her, and that is Miss Leslie Luna. Thank you. You're welcome. This next student for the award of courage, he came in as himself. And if you have ever seen him in the hallway, you will know he is there. You know by his voice, by his dancing, by his stepping, by something. And he does not care what others say about him. And middle school is a tough age. You have people constantly talking, and he is himself. He actually helped to get tonight. Him and Ajacia helped put things together, so I also thank them. And for courage, my son, Tito Moss.
All right, our next Moral Focus Award goes to a gentleman who, oh, you cannot hear me? Can you hear me now? Like that commercial. Oh, yes, okay. All right, so most of the students, when I first started here, they pretended that they was quiet. They not. They're not. But when they went through things together, there was one person that stood out and encouraged others. And I would like to give the Encouragement Award to Makai Moody. Next is integrity. And this goes to a young lady who, once again, I really thought that she was very quiet. She surprised me the most, because I think it was probably about 2 months into me working there before I finally heard her say a word. But she definitely exudes integrity. This award goes to Yvette.
All right. So our Wisdom Award goes to somebody that, she's one of those, when the rest of the class was kind of getting out of pocket or, going back and forth, she was just cool. She was in the back. She was just kind of like, hey, this is what we really should do. And she would give her opinion. She's also one of the few that consistently speaks to me in Spanish as if I understand her, which I do kind of, but I don't always. So this very wise young woman is Jasmine Vega. Don't, see? We're gonna get you some pens, how about that? Our gratitude award goes to this young lady. It was her first year at our school, I believe. And she came in with this attitude of gratitude. She was constantly polite and saying thank you, but even not just to staff, but to other students that were helping her out in her first week. And so that person is Anessa. So much dancing. All right, and our respect award goes to somebody that I've known outside of the classroom on the track field, although she didn't come out for track this year. But she's just sweet. Like, I mean, I don't know any other words to describe her. Sweet, kind, strong.
What? Hair? Oh. Take a picture. Take a picture.
Shut up. But honesty.
And our last award, as you can see, we really love our kids. We take it to heart. And that's why I won't cry during this one. Our last award is Most Improved. This student, it has some trials and tribulation, and it's his story, but he, when I say did a 180 this year, his name constantly came up amongst teachers, giving compliments. Oh gosh, not the tears. When you see kids do so well, it touches us. And gosh, when you see kids work hard who struggled, and they do amazing for teachers, for parents, I know it's amazing to you guys, so it's amazing to us. And for the Most Improved is High Road Catholics. All right, no more tears.
At this time, we're going to have Ms. Ames to come to the podium as she will introduce our speaker of the hour. Let's give her a hand, please.
Our graduation speaker is a young gentleman who also attends my church, and he was very honored to speak with you all tonight. Kurt is the proud owner and operator of K Love's Auto Dealing, LLC. For over 9 years, K Love has been servicing more than 30 audio dealerships in and around Indianapolis, Indiana area. Also, while hiring over 300 employees from the inner city. Prior to owning K Love, he worked for UPS Freight for 7 years. Prior to UPS, he was incarcerated for 13 years and 3 months for the possession of cocaine, crack, and possession of a gun. He was arrested, convicted, and sentenced to 17 years in federal prison at the age of 27. He was released from prison at the age of 40. While incarcerated, he changed his life, first by giving his life to Christ. Then, by furthering his education, he earned his Associate of Business degree from Kentucky University. He also earned many other awards and certificates from classes and programs he participated in. Prior to his incarcerations and indulgence in the life of drugs and crimes, he graduated from Arlington High School, where he played basketball and baseball. An average student, but he was still able to earn a full basketball scholarship to Chautauqua Valley Community College in Phoenix City, Alabama. He played junior college basketball for 2 years, then returned to Indianapolis. He's most proud of his position of president and founder of Straight Up Mentoring Foundation, an Indy City youth mentoring organization created 5 years ago inside of Arlington High School. They mentor young males from the inner city that are facing the many challenges of the inner city high school of the inner city. High school dropouts, single-parent homes, drugs, gangs, incarceration, and violence. Located now in several inner city schools, the Girls and Boys Clubs, and other parks and recreation centers. Straight Up provides many programs, tutorings, field trips, and camps, colleges, visits, jobs, and more. The mission of Straight Up Mentoring Foundation is to develop relationships and transform the character at-risk urban youth through education portals, business partnerships, and community service. Please welcome Mr. Kurt Moore. Thanks again.
Where my 8th graders at? I'm sorry, I thought y'all graduated today. Nah, I must be in the wrong place. That's right, that's right, that's right. 9th graders, are y'all in the house? Let me hear y'all. Freshmen, y'all in the house? Okay, say that, okay. I want to ask everyone to please forgive me. I had a speech that I was going to give and was preparing a speech, but then once I walked in here, this is not the type of crowd that I'm normally speaking to. And what I'm saying is, as she said in the introduction, I'm the founder and president of Straight Up Mentoring Foundation. And we mentor at-risk inner city youth. And most of the youth that we mentor or that I speak to on a regular are kids that are in trouble or been in trouble, or kids that are at the alternative school, or kids that are in the juvenile system, or in particular this morning, a kid that was being expelled. I had to go walk alongside him and try to help him out of his situation. But here today, with seeing all the awards and all the things that you guys are doing, man, y'all ain't no trouble kids. Y'all don't need me. Y'all hired the wrong person. Y'all got it going on. And then at the same time, when Principal Hill was talking about how many years ago it was when he sat in the chairs that you guys are sitting in, I started counting like, man, that's been a long time for me too, man. I just turned 50 about 2 months ago. So it's been probably 36 years or so for me as well. I graduated from 8th grade from Forest Manor Junior High. At that particular time, was Forest Manor people here? Okay, all right. But at that particular time, when I look back, now I have what a lot of grown people will say, or grown-ups will say, you know, as they look back over their life, they have 20/20 vision, hindsight. Their hindsight is perfect because they can see all the mistakes and all the things that they did and which ways they went that weren't right or that were right. They can see it perfectly now. But I think what we need to start doing, and what I want to challenge all of y'all to do, is to gain that 20/20 foresight. And what I want you to do is, first and foremost, to dream big. Dream bigger than you ever thought you could dream. Some people say you shoot for the moon, but you catch a star. I want you to look at the time or at the age of me and where you would like to be at that time. But more important than that, with the dream, because we all know a dream is only a dream if you do not plan, if you do not make goals for yourself, if you do not set forth or write down where you want to be, not only tomorrow, but in the next 35 years. The reason why I'm telling you this is because a lot of the young men that I mentor on a regular basis have a problem with dreaming. And they think maybe it's weak to dream. They think maybe it's, oh man, I shouldn't dream, man, that's not good, you know. But God planted in each and every one of you a gift and a vision. Utilize that vision. Don't be ashamed because you may dream of being the next, I don't know, Barack Obama, the next president. Maybe you dream to be the next business owner, the next president of IBM, maybe Microsoft. Are your dreams that big? If they're not, make them that big. You can be whatever you want to be as long as you're willing to put forth the work, as long as you're willing to go as hard as you can go, there's nothing stopping you from being the next Barack Obama or the next president of the United States. Now, I know this sounds crazy. Oh, man, we heard that before. That ain't, it's true. There's nothing stopping you from being the next president of IBM, of Microsoft. There's nothing stopping you from being the next great WNBA player. When I was your age, I had dreams of playing professional basketball. Unfortunately, my 8th grade year, I was cut from the team. My 9th grade year, I was cut from the team. My 10th grade year, I was cut from the team. Yeah, I got cut a lot of times, didn't I, man? Now, that would make you probably say, oh, man, I'm done. It ain't for me, right? Not me. I kept going. I worked as hard as I could. I forced my way into every basketball camp that I could get into. I played ball every day until my 11th grade year, I made the team. My senior year in high school, I made the team. I was at the end of the bench, but guess what? I heard somebody say about one of the gentlemen that was one of the best cheerleaders. I was the best cheerleader on the team. I was just so happy and enthused with being on the team that I would do anything to help my team win. I would be what some people may call a practice dummy. I didn't mind sacrificing my body or jumping out there in practice just to help my team become better. But with that said, I also earned a college scholarship to Chattahoochee Valley Community College, that is. Maybe a small school in Phoenix City, Alabama, but it was a basketball scholarship. But when I returned back to Indianapolis from Alabama is when I made some drastic changes in my life. And I started chasing things that wasn't what my mother or my teachers or people that had my best interests in hand had planned for me. I started chasing the streets. And I did a lot of things in the streets that I wasn't proud of. But as I always say in every speech when I talk to young people, for every action there's a yes, there's consequences. And the consequences to my actions was that I had to serve 13 years in federal prison. The consequences to my actions, when I look back to some of my classmates and my best friends that I had when I was in the 8th grade that also made their bad choices, they're no longer here. But while I was incarcerated, I got back on track and I was determined to chase some of those dreams that I had as a kid. Now, mind you, I was a little bit too old to play in the NBA, but I was determined to be successful. Before I went to prison, I had never read a book from cover to cover. And mind you, I went through college. I went through junior high, high school, and college. But while I was incarcerated, I read over thousands of books. I utilized something that I learned a long time ago, that the most powerful thing in this world is your mind. Your mind is a muscle. If you work it, it will become stronger, and it will help you with further your life. It will help you accomplish your goals. It will help make your dreams come to reality. So I wanted to read and study everything that I could. So on that release date, when I was released, mind you, when I went into prison, I was what they call ghetto fabulous. I had the cars and all the bling bling, all that. But when I got out, I had nothing. I went in at 27, I came home at 40. I was back living with my mother. Now I'm telling you all this, not for you to follow the path that I followed, but I'm telling you, one, to discourage you from getting off of what your goals are, what your track is to be successful. But when I came home and now I was riding the bus and walking and catching rides back and forth to work, I really didn't know what I was going to do or what plan God really had for me, but I knew whatever it was, I was going to give him my all, that nothing would stop me, that I refused to lose. So mind you, as my best friend or one of my good friends and a church member of mine gave me a job in his body shop washing cars, I was riding the bus back and forth to work, so he gave me a van to drive in order to get back and forth to work. I took that van, put a pressure washer in it out of my best friend's garage, put a tank in it, and I started K-Love's Auto Detailing. Just 9 years ago. No employees, no money, no idea of what I was even doing. Probably streaked up the first few cars I washed. But 9 years later, I've hired over 900 people from the inner city. I've hired kids. I've hired people coming home from prison. Thank you. I've given back as much as possible. I work with probably over 50 dealerships, auto dealerships, the Andy Moores and the Pearson Fords and so forth, in and throughout this city on a daily basis. But the thing that I'm most proud of is one day, a friend of mine, Mr. Cecil Sinkfield and I'll finish it up with this. We walked into, we seen on the news where Arlington High School, the school I graduated from, needed basketball uniforms. So we was like, man, we go in here and talk to the principal, maybe throw a charity basketball game. So when we went in there, we saw that Principal Stan Law was having some discipline problems and he needed some mentors in the school. So with that, I said, give me your 25 worst students in the school. So he gave me 25 7th and 8th grade boys. Majority of them were straight Fs, had straight Fs. Majority of them were borderline expulsion. Half of them probably had already been in trouble with the juvenile system. But within 6 weeks, we were able to walk alongside these young men, encourage them, and give them what was missing in their life. Give them hope that they could be whatever they wanted to be if they chase their dreams and work as hard as they can. Within 6 weeks, their grades and their behavior changed by 70%. Now, it wasn't me. All I did was took the time out and took what God had given me and ran with it. To this day, I'm so proud of not only those young men that I know personally, but each and every one of you. What you have accomplished over these past few years is great. Let no one tell you nothing less. You are very successful. You are our future, as Principal Hill said. You are the ones that will carry us on for the rest of our lives. You are the ones that will create possibly the cure for cancer. You are the doctors. You are the attorneys. You may be one of the attorneys that I needed back when I was incarcerated and sentenced to 17 years and knew I had made some terrible decisions, but I wanted to come home so bad to make a difference. You may be the attorney that represented me. You may be the one who gave me my first chance to detail his cars. You may own that dealership. You may be that entrepreneur. You may be that professional ball player that was great on the basketball court, that won championships, that received all the awards, but more important than that, you came back to Andrew J. Brown and you mentored another kid. This is the difference that I think Principal Hill was talking about. This is the change, this is the impact. See, it's nothing to be, how many of you guys want to be rich? Okay, okay. And that's good. I asked this question, and I got to let you go, but I asked this question. I give a camp every spring and every fall for 100 boys, and I take 100 boys out to the campgrounds, and we bring different speakers in, and we talk to the boys. It's a character building and team building camp, and we go canoeing, horseback ride, all that. But I asked them the same question just this past Thursday. How many of y'all want to be rich? Everybody hand went up. Oh, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. But if you're not rich here first, and here, you will never be rich here. Be rich in spirit and happiness and joy within yourselves. Just the way you are right now. You're happy, you're jubilant, you're ready. Man, I'm graduated. I'm on my way. The one young lady said, I'm a little nervous about what's to come. Don't be nervous. Attack it. Be rich there first. And I guarantee you, you'll be financially rich one day as well. Because your financially rich might not be the same as, I don't know, Bill Gates. Your financial richness might not be as big as Michael Jordan's or Kobe Bryant's. But at the same time, if you're rich here, whatever you have in your bank account, I guarantee you will also be satisfied and successful. I love each and every one of you. I really appreciate for the invitation to come and speak. If anybody ever needs me, man, I'm on 38th Keystone and K Love's Auto Detailing. Please just step in and say hi. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Let's give Mr. Moore another hand, please. Thank you, Mr. Moore, for those encouraging words and being transparent. At this time, what we all been waiting for. the presentation of the diplomas. Principal Hill, please come to the podium.
Thank you, thank you. And let's, let's give it up for Mr. Moore. That was a very inspiring speech. You brought me back. Most of the kids know, it's like looking in a mirror. Thank you for making me look good, almost 52, I appreciate that. But my father was incarcerated too for 20 years of my life too, so it moved me to see what you're doing in terms of reaching out to 10 and 10 more, and now it's 100, and just what you're doing, and they're telling me your story while I'm sitting there, and I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. With that being said, we're ready to go?
All right. What you all been waiting for. First row. Our first, Hyro Calix. Antonio Campos. Mariah Campos. Yep, go back. Brianna Carter. Brenda Castillo. Anessa Cleve. Lamarion Cole Williams. Adriana Crawford. Vincent Cruz. Yvette Kukwalta. Honesty Daniels Morton. Jada Gardner. Ajacia Griffith. Dorian Hutchinson. Jocelyn Jimenez. Kwali Kudu. Kamaya Lane Belton. Mackenzie Lloyd. Deja Love. Leslie Luna. Ashley Martinez. Alejandro Molina Rina. Makai Moody. Tito Moss. Anaya Muriel. Jaya Parker. Cesar Prudente. Kaylin Rayner. Francisco Sanchez. Aja Thomas. Ariana Twyman. Andrea Vasquez. Daniela Vasquez. Janet Vega. Jasmine Vega. Amy Vildada Santos. Talia West. Amari Wilburn. Janaya Williams. No. You want me to re-say it, Amari? I know. I'm sorry, Amari Wilburn. Hill. Yep.
One of our last graduates that came up, she's like, I'm one of the last graduates, you had to mess up my name. And so they came with spunk, they're leaving with spunk. You gotta love it. Before we do the official ceremony, graduating class, you can sit down for a minute for these closing remarks. It'll be quick. And then we're gonna do you guys are gonna have your chance, but it goes with the theme. I told everybody there was a theme, and I saved this for this year. It was on purpose. I actually got it last year, but I saved it for this year just because it was 35 years and I was thinking about this particular class and what you guys have done. But the other day in the mail, this letter came. So I just wanted to bring the proof. This letter came to the house. And so I pulled out the letter, and then it was interesting. Teachers, students, and we talked about giving back. You heard Mr. Moore giving back. It doesn't matter when you start, because you never know what you're going to just do and pollinate one relationship at a time. But this letter went like this. Dearest Mrs. Cadet, you've always crossed my mind throughout my childhood to my teens, and even to my motherhood. I am very blessed to have you for an ESL teacher. My family, we are thankful to have you by our side back then. I know that was 16 years ago. You went that extra mile to connect with me, your student. I appreciate all the times you spend with me and my family, all those times 16 years ago when I didn't know much English. To be honest, maybe you never knew that. You thought me more than just a subject in school, but your support, kindness, and guidance has stayed with me all these years. Thank you for being the best teacher to me. Some teachers, I can tell, don't want to be in a classroom teaching. You are the kind of teacher that has such a joy and passion for teaching. Your classroom students, you go above and beyond to be the best teacher that you can be. And it really stuck with me all these years, being in Oklahoma, to Alaska, back to St. Paul, Minnesota. It was a privilege to have you as my ESL teacher. I actually wanted to go to school and be just like you in so many ways. Matter of fact, I do, but when I found out what teachers make, I decided to become a doctor. No offense. I enjoyed your class and wanted you to know that after 16 years, when I think of the best teacher I've ever had, immediately you come to my mind. Sincerely, your student always, B. Vang. This teacher, this letter that came to the house was for my wife. I'm the lucky one. And I was amazed how much she reached out and how much you all reach out. And what I see on the stage, what I see on the screen, students, future, this graduation is the first of many. Don't stop now. So when we do this ceremony, this is something I want to say moving forward at the next commencements. This is the first of many. The first graduations of many. This is not the ending point. This is your starting point. You will go out, you will meet 10 other people, and you will then have them meet 10 other people, and you will do just like Mr. Moore said, and you will change lives just like your teachers have changed lives. And someday, 16 years from now, you're going to write one of your teachers just like this, no matter where you are, Alaska or Oklahoma, and it's going to come in the mail, and you're going to put a smile on their faces and your face, because you know what? We reached back out to this family last year, and it turned out she named her first daughter after my wife. You will make that kind of difference, and you will care that much because you're that type of class. Stand up. Rise up. Let's do this. It is my honor and a privilege for the class of 2019, Andrew J. Brown Academy. Congratulations, move those tails, you are officially graduated. Thank you, everybody. There are going to be cupcakes and juice out in the atrium area, but before we go, hey, first of many, I didn't hear the parents enough. Everyone should be standing up. They just did something amazing. Everyone stand up. We got to stand up. They got to know that you care. Come on now. These are your babies, your future. Let's let them hear it. You're awesome. Class of 19, you are awesome. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great night.